Our cover story tonight is from Sri Lanka. Just days after the country's most powerful political family took office, fear has begun stalking Sri Lanka. Last week, a Swiss embassy official was detained and threatened. This woman is Sri Lankan. She works with the Swiss mission. Reports say that she was forced into a car and threatened in Colombo. She has now been released. But this incident is alarming. She's an embassy official. Switzerland summoned the Sri Lankan ambassador and demanded an inquiry. This episode started with this man, Nishantha Silva, a senior police officer in Sri Lanka. He was leading a series of investigations against the Rajapaksas. When they came to power, he felt threatened. So he fled the country and he has reportedly sought asylum in Switzerland. But how did he get away? Some people wanted the answer to this question. They wanted to know who else wants to leave. They abducted a Swiss embassy official and questioned her. She was harassed, she was detained against her will and then released. Obviously, the Swiss are angry. Their ambassador met with Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and also the Sri Lankan Foreign Minister. He demanded an immediate and complete investigation. He also wants a guarantee of security for Swiss representation in Colombo, meaning all the embassy staff. He wants a guarantee of their safety and security. In return, the Lankan government says it wants to question the Swiss embassy official, that is the woman who was detained. Now, Lanka has asked the Swiss embassy for permission, but the embassy says the woman is in no condition to face questioning right now. Needless to say, this entire episode is fishy. Questions are being raised. Are the Rajapaksas cracking down on critics? Reports say that activists, journalists and security officials are living under a shadow of fear. Colombo is not saying much, but the government's actions speak louder than words. Sri Lanka has put airports on alert. Hundreds of police officers have been identified, more than 700 according to some reports. They're not being allowed to leave the country. Less than a month in power, barely 14 days in power in fact, this is not a very good beginning for a government that promises reconciliation and rights for all. This is reminiscent of what happened a decade ago. In 2009, remember, the Rajapaksas oversaw the complete elimination of the LTT. Thousands of people died. Most of them were Tamils, a minority community in Sri Lanka. During the military campaign, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who is now president, sealed his reputation. He is nicknamed the Terminator by his own family. Human rights groups accuse the Rajapaksas of war crimes. Investigations were underway on several fronts, but now there are fears that this government, led by the Rajapaksas, could scuttle the probe. It is not just people in Sri Lanka who are looking for answers. Even the United Nations wants a credible investigation into the alleged war crimes. In March this year, the United Nations Human Rights Council gave Sri Lanka 2 more years to set up a reliable probe. We can't say if there's been any substantial progress on that front, but ignoring the demand could invite more scrutiny. The charges are very severe. Soldiers of the Sri Lankan government are accused of killing at least 40,000 ethnic Tamil civilians in the final months of the war. And the Rajapaksas are at the center of these accusations. During the war, Mahinda Rajapaksa was the president of Sri Lanka. His brother, Gotabaya, was the defense chief. 10 years later, both these brothers are back, one as president, the other as prime minister, and they seem to be going after all those who investigated them.